The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Pannell Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Raising Cane's, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
And welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball with my intern Morgan McEldowney co-hosting. You can just do it all. You're new to the show, but you're co-hosting. Now, great to have you co-hosting.
Thank you so much for having
Morgan
me.
in with me. She was a great basketball player at Dunbar back in the day. And now today on the show, Chuck Smith comes in from Lexington Lafayette. His marching band, 19. That's right, 19 state championships over there.
That's
They're
impressive.
fantastic. You see what you see this program, the Raven, they did, and his 4 drum majors are in studio, and his assistant director. I'm going to enjoy talking to all those folks. That's coming up on the show. Also, we got a feature on Dylan Wheatley. He's one of the best running backs in the state of Kentucky, and he plays right here in Lexington at LCA. He's a super player, been recruited by Purdue, a lot of Division I schools after that young man.
Yeah, wow.
You know that about recruiting, don't you?
Yeah.
How big time that is. And also, we've got the scholar athletes. They're from one of the top academic schools in the city, Lexington Catholic, a blue ribbon school. One's a kicker, one's a soccer player, but most importantly, the reason they're on the show, Morgan, they both have 4.0 grade point averages.
So impressive.
Pretty strong. And some great swimmers in. Tom Viney's brought an outstanding double threat from Boyle County, the Hayes twins.
Double the trouble.
Double the trouble in the pool. Looking forward to that. Laurie Blanc is here from UK Sports Medicine. She's going to talk to us about the RICE principle. Let me see if I can get all this. Rest, ice, compression, elevation. Did I get it all?
Yes, yes.
RICE principle. We're going to talk to Laurie about that. And also, we got another great Sutherland Chevrolet drive of the week as we head down to Nicholasville and Sutherland Chevrolet, all that coming up. But you know what we got? We got the best regional final football highlights in the state of Kentucky. They're brought to you by PrepSpin, the best digital network, high school sports in the state.
Lexington Catholic and Boyle County, one of those two has won the region 8 times in the last 9 years. These two have met in the postseason about 10 times since 1998, and the team that won the regular season meeting has gone on to win the postseason meeting every single time. Boyle beat Lex Cath 48-17 in the regular season. The Rebels were up 36-zip in the second, and you can see why. Dominant defense performance from Boyle County. Later in the drive, Lex Cath's Bo Allen takes the snap and goes to the end zone to hit Logan Absner, and the Knights get on the board. Damian Jones for Lex Cath will rock in for 2. And then the Knights are down only 36-8. Second half, Boyle rolling. Grant Hoshkitz hits Reese Smith for the diving catch and the first down. And then Tanner Crawford brings it in for the touchdown. And it was all Boyle County tonight, 57-15.
And welcome back in with my intern Morgan McEldowney, Gary Ball. And we want to thank Roberts Insurance. They're out in Richmond, Kentucky on Main Street. They insure 3/4 of this great state of Kentucky. Speaking of this great state of Kentucky, Chuck Smith here from Lafayette, the pride of the bluegrass, the Lafayette Marching Band.
Yes.
I got to ask you, 19 state titles. I mean, you've seen a bunch of them. You were at E-Town for a while, won some titles there. So what makes a great marching band?
You know, there's a lot of work. It is really a collaborative effort. You can't do it without the students to begin with.
Right.
And then the students, you have to have that support in all kinds of ways, both from parent support, faculty support, administrative support, all of that. And then you just got to have a drive. You got to understand, you know, goals and work on those ways to reach those goals that you want. And Lafayette's always had high goals.
Yes.
So.
I was going to say that. When you win 19 state titles, these young ladies and gentlemen, they know the bar that's been set there. So they know what they got to do. So
absolutely.
That's great.
And these drum majors are your eyes and ears on the field. Can you tell us about each one and their strengths?
Well, you know, I can, as a matter of fact. I can tell you about each one. Here on my immediate left is Kate Mano.
Hi, Kate.
Who's a junior and plays clarinet. And, you know, you could count on Kate. All of them have great abilities and all kinds of things, but we would use Kate a lot in more demonstration things. you could really count on Kate demonstrate anywhere from how to march to doing a push-up.
Right.
So I mean, she could do all of that.
Multi-talented.
Multi-talented. And next to Kate is Caleb Matoka, who was our center drum major for us this year too.
Right.
He's a senior. He's a trombone, but he was definitely the spirit, the cheerleader for the group. Always enthusiastic.
Keeping the band kind of loose and ready to roll.
Definitely.
Tough days.
Always had a great attitude.
Yeah.
Always kind of keeping everybody kind of up and rolling on that. Catherine is a senior and a flute. All of them are great students, of course.
Yeah.
Catherine, probably in her role, there's nobody dislikes any of these kids actually, but Catherine probably would be more of a mentor, where people could really feel comfortable coming to Catherine.
Young kids look up to her.
Yeah.
They migrate to her.
Well, yeah. I mean, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Why
She's
not?
a 4.0 student too.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Last but not least is Zoe Sir Lewis, who plays bassoon for us. Is currently a junior, and she is phenomenal. Her musicianship abilities are really top notch for us. I mean, they do all the same elements in so many different ways, but she really understood and has an ability to get the musical aspect of things. And
so the rest
really
of the band had to kind of catch up to her. So
absolutely. I mean, she knew what was going on with that. She knew what was going on.
Right.
So they're all very great in so many different things.
Okay, great things the coach said about you. So how long have you been in the marching band there at Lafayette?
I've been in band for 3 years. This is my 3rd year.
And tell me about this. Why was this band able to put it together and win state?
I mean, of course, because of our directors and their dedication to the activity,
Right.
to the students. But this year especially, our student leadership was really close-knit and really tight. Right. And even before the season started, we met together, we got together, and we established common goals. And I feel like that really kept us motivated throughout the whole season.
Because you knew what your plateau was. You knew what you had to reach, and you all said, hey, we got goals here. Let's reach those goals. And congratulations, by the way, on that 4.0 grade point average.
And what separated the band this year from the last and why?
I think the biggest thing that separated the band was probably the, as Kate said, the leadership. I felt like the leadership was just strong from the get-go. We all had the common goal, the mindset that we wanted to do something. And it's not just the leadership. Leadership translates to the students. So the students really got in from the beginning, the get-go, right from band camp, just bought into the system.
I got to ask you, Catherine, the opening scene, Coach sent me the program, so I watched it. It was Edgar Allan Poe's Raven, okay? Did that opening scene just kind of get everybody's juices going and, get everybody pumped up in the band? Would you say that was a big part of it?
For sure. I mean, the first day the whole band found out about the show, The Raven, we were all so excited because it gave us like a message and a story that we had to convey to the audience through our marching and our playing. Yeah. And so The Raven was kind of like our source of inspiration.
Right. There came a tap, tap, tap on the Yeah, when did the band start to take shape and why, Zoe?
Well, I mean, everyone came in on the first day of band camp really excited about this show. They knew how great the music was and they knew about the drill. And we were just motivated from then on. It was just constant improvement. But especially from our first performance, the parent performance at the end of band camp, everyone knew this was the show. This is why we work hard.
I really enjoyed it, by the way. It was a great show. It was great. Your color guard, by the way, they were fantastic too. Everybody was
great
fantastic.
job, great team.
Yeah.
Tyler Turan and Emily Duncan, Jazeel Wilson. They do a fantastic job in making that work for us.
Chuck Smith, always great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having us.
You're a class act. I appreciate you coming out. You guys doing great things out there. Look forward. A couple of you back next year, so maybe we'll get a repeat on the show next year, right? A couple of juniors.
The idea,
that'd be number 20. Thanks, guys. That's the Lafayette Marching Band. Now we're going to this feature on one of the top running backs in the state of Kentucky. He hails from Lexington Christian, Dylan Wheatley.
Dylan Wheatley accounted for 5 touchdowns in LCA's 42-12 win over Prestonsburg.
Well, we practiced a lot harder with Logan down, and we knew we'd have to step our game up without him.
After the game, the head coach jokingly asked the senior where that's been all year.
There's no question that Dylan had one of his best performances all year, and that's a testament to him stepping up and taking ownership of himself and here forward into the playoffs.
Dylan ran for over 200 yards in the win, and his coach says they're used to seeing Dylan step up this time of the year.
But every year it's gotten cold, it's come playoff time or district time, Dylan Wheatley's come out in true fashion.
Dylan rushed 24 times and attributes his success to the O-line.
Our O-line, I think they stepped up big time this week for sure, and it's just great to have a big hole from them.
And for Dylan and the whole LCA team, this game on Friday holds a lot of weight.
We have a great game planned together just for Danville, and I think we're practicing hard enough that we'll be able to execute on Friday.
For an uber talented senior group that's been knocked out by the same team for 3 years in a row, there's very little that needs to be said from getting them up for this game. They know what's at stake. They know what the outcome's been the last few years, and now it's time for revenge.
Kaylee Mizell, WKYT.
Back into our most popular segment because it highlights academics and all sports, boys and girls, and henceforth the boy and the girl on the show here today, Emma Francisco from Lexington Catholic. You know, first off, congratulations, both of you, for maintaining those great 4.0 GPA averages that you have there in a tough academic school like Lexington Catholic. Let's start with you, Emma. Back on that, you're on a top-ranked soccer team. You keep a 4.0. How are you able to mesh it all and keep it all together?
It takes a lot of time management. You have to learn to have commitment for your team and also for academics. And you often have to come in early for teachers to get help on things that you may have missed or need more answers for. Mm-hmm. And it just takes the time commitment
and a lot of books on the buses, right?
Yes.
On soccer trips, a lot of books.
And Francisco, you seem to back off from football and concentrate on soccer and school. How did that benefit you in the classroom?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say back off per se.
You're still kicking a little bit,
yeah,
aren't you?
I still kick a little bit. But, well, being a kicker kind of like helps me focus. I can focus on my football and soccer as well. I can balance those as well. And then it gives me a lot more time for school as well, since I don't always have to be there for all of football practice. I can be just for soccer, go kick a little bit, and then go back home and study.
Emma, going through the rigors at Lexington Catholic academically, what studies, what things interest you in college at that level, and have you thought about where you're going to go for college yet?
I have not thought about a specific college yet, but I'm very interested in medicine. I would like to go into an occupation that will help people and that I can potentially do my own research and work towards assisting other people through medication.
Yeah, outstanding.
And Francisco, good grades open doors. How have you seen this in your college choices?
Well, I'm going to Louisville, and I know, well, with any college really, like, apart from an ACT score, which like that's just a number, but in your grades, it shows that you can work hard and you're also like intelligent as well. So you're willing to put in the work for it.
Yeah. Well, very impressed. You all are just doing a fantastic job there at Lexington Catholic, Emma and Francisco. If you would, pass that down to your partner there, Emma. And there you go, both of you. That's a plaque from, take that over to Crown Trophy, and they will personalize that for you, put your name and school on it for no charge. And that's just something we like to do on the show to let you know that you're doing a great job there. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Those are two outstanding scholars from Lexington Catholic High School. Let's go to the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
It's time for your Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week, and we go to Scott County. Bryce Fryman picking up a huge chunk of yards on this play, but he fumbles the ball. A loose ball in the end zone recovered by his teammate Landon Easley for the Scott County touchdown. Worth another look. Not the way they drew up the play, but it still counts just the same. Fryman picking up a big gain and fumbling the ball right to his teammate Landon Easley for the touchdown. Scott County goes on to win big. That is your Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Back in, Gary Ball with Tom Viney from Pannell Swim Shop. Great swimmers last week from Douglas and the coach, and now, Tom, great twins.
Absolutely.
Twins from Boyle County.
That's exactly right. So we're very lucky to have Natalie and Hunter Hayes with us today. So thank you very much for coming in, guys.
Thank you for having us.
It's an honor.
You guys have had a really exciting week this week. You want to tell me a little bit about what's been going on?
Yeah, absolutely. We both just signed our national letter of intent on Tuesday. We signed our letter of intent to go to Emmanuel College.
Right, awesome. academics help with that. You have a 3.5, your sister has a 4.0. So
Yes, sir.
tell us what part that played in going to the college show.
I was actually, both of us were able to get a $6,000 scholarship because of our academics. We both have, I have a 30 on my ACT and she has a 32, so our academics played a large part in getting a good scholarship and it being accepted into the college itself.
Now, if I took it twice, I think I got a 32. If you combine the two, no, just kidding, just kidding.
Well, tell me a little bit about, so you guys had a lot of different schools talking to you. What made you choose this college?
Well, for me, I really liked the coach. I feel like he had a lot to offer me. And we really meshed well with the team and really got along with them. And it was really cool to be able to be in an atmosphere where we have all kinds of swimmers from different countries as well, all over the world, really.
That's awesome. Hunter, we got about 30 seconds, but how did cross country help you with how does that help you with your swimming?
Actually, it really helps you improve your lungs.
Yeah.
So by running cross country, improved my lungs, improved my legs. Underwaters are a huge part of my swimming, so it really helped me become better swimmer to just become faster and just do better in my sport.
Well, I tell you what, you guys, you guys are just great examples for a lot of young swimmers coming up. Thank you very much for coming in and joining us today.
Keep up the great work. Thank you.
We'll do our best, sir. Thank you.
That's the twins from Boyle County, the Hayes twins. Great job. Now we're going to this UK Sports Medicine segment. Laurie Blunk's in house to talk to us. Back into our UK Sports Medicine Orthopedic Surgery segment, our title sponsor on the show for 15 years now, Gary Ball with Morgan McEldowney, my intern, and Laurie Blunk is in the house. Always great to have you on the show because you know why? You always give us good information. So I'm going to throw one at you here.
All right.
When do you use ice?
So generally you want to use ice with a new injury within the first couple of days. It just kind of helps to keep some of the swelling down and control pain.
Right.
When should you use heat?
Heat, you want to wait till after that initial first 48 hours or so, because what heat's going to do is it's going to open up your blood vessels and it's going to allow for more swelling in there. So that's why we generally say stick with ice in the first couple days and then transition to heat. Heat is also great for relieving like muscle soreness and things like that. But overall, you kind of just want to go with the 48-hour rule on that.
Yeah, there's not controversy, but there's a little question sometimes about heat and so forth, you know, but I think what you said is pretty much sums it up.
There's also been discussion about ice being overused. Why is that?
Yeah, good question.
In general, like we as a society probably overuse ice. So ice is great initially because it's going to keep down the swelling, but our bodies actually do a really good job of healing ourselves with the whole inflammatory response process. So eventually what the ice is going to do, if you have swelling in an area, it's going to keep that swelling there and not let blood flow back out. So blood has to be able to flow easily in and out of an area. So basically think of an ankle sprain, for example. An ankle sprain is difficult to get swelling out because gravity's kind of fighting you. When you keep repetitively icing it, you're not allowing those blood vessels to open back up to allow fluid back out of the area.
See what I mean by good information?
Yeah, good to know.
Thank you, Laurie. There's a website and their phone number. Give them a call, UK Sports Medicine. Thank you, Laurie Blunk. And that's from UK Sports Medicine. Now we're going to these final highlights. It was Regional Football Championship around the state of Kentucky, brought to you by PrepSpin.com.
Now to Class 5A, Montgomery County at Madison Southern. Indians trailing 14-6. Second quarter, Charles Collins on the counter. He's got the edge. Collins scores, and after the two-point conversion, it's tied at 14 apiece. So now less than 30 seconds left in the opening half. Moco down 28-14 and going to the air, but the pass picked off by Nathan Eads. He takes it to the house the other direction. Eagles go into the half up 35-14. And Madison Southern goes on to win 61-20.
Gary Ball, Morgan McEldowney, and Robert's here with us, the assistant director there. And, you know, these drum majors, outstanding. I can see now why y'all won your 19th state championship.
Absolutely. Great group of students, and these are just pictures of what helped us win that number 19.
210 band members. That's a lot of folks to keep, you know, to keep everything going, you know, and flowing, you know.
Absolutely. As you can see from earlier in the program, they helped us.
They really did, and I enjoyed so much having y'all on, and keep up the great work. And of course, the two juniors, hope you see you back next year. as always, on the Scholastic Ball Report. For those you see and those you don't see,
keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Pannell Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Raising Cane's, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.